Max Verstappen deserved to win the World Drivers' Championship, but Lewis Hamilton deserved to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. A very strange and paradoxical statement to make, but this season has not been like any other, and in many ways it was a fitting end to a very controversial and messy season of Formula 1. And now there are a few things people are missing, if I'm going to be truly honest. And I'm going to start with number one. Mercedes should have pitted Lewis Hamilton under the virtual safety car. Or alternatively, they should have pitted him over during the actual safety car that appeared in the last 5 laps. Because Max Verstappen and Red Bull did pit under both the virtual safety car and the second safety car. Whilst Lewis Hamilton, in terms of pace, was easily much quicker than Max Verstappen over the race, despite being held up for a couple of laps by Sergio Perez, Max's wingman, Mercedes got the tactical side wrong. Mercedes, renowned for their attitude of always believe the worst could always happen, that type of attitude was completely missing in this race. For some reason, they did not account for any sort of potential pitfalls that could happen at this weekend's race, because instead of taking the whole attitude of prepare for the worst, it seems to be they've now taken on more of an attitude of we are victims, the FIA is against us, the sport wants to stop us from winning more titles, and just this sort of being distracted by whatever comes out of Christian Horner's mouth. In terms of mind games, Red Bull, Max Verstappen, Christian Horner and Herbert Markle and the whole Red Bull gang won the mind games. They did it. You can sit there and talk about whether it was ethical or not, but the fact of the matter is Nico Rosberg used mind games back in 2016 and look where that got him. It made him world champion. And once again, Lewis Hamilton is at the wrong end of losing mind games. If there's one thing that Lewis Hamilton doesn't actually seem to be proving himself very good at, it's actually winning mind games against someone who's able to get the job done without being distracted and having a full team behind his back. You know, he lost out to Kimi Räikkönen in 2007, he lost out to Rosberg in 2016, and now he's lost out to Verstappen in 2021. Max Verstappen's weaknesses have been fully exposed, and Mercedes did not help by failing to pit him under both opportunities to pit him. Now, of course, there was a Twitter user named Vincenzo Landini who came up with a solution of having a red flag where, you know, everyone gets new fresh tyres for the last 5 laps and there's a rolling start. At first I thought that was a good idea, but when you come to think of it though, I think people need to realise that Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes cost themselves a championship regardless, in spite of how much of a bizarre, messed up affair that was. Very confusing for a lot of normies, and it did give the whole sports image of being a completely manipulated WWE type affair. But we need to realise though, Michael Masi, when he was first employed by the FIA to replace Charlie Whiting back in the 2019 Australian Grand Prix, he was supposed to be a stand-in race director. Journalists up and down the paddock, as well as those who used to work for the FIA, said that the FIA were probably going to undertake a programme of separating Charlie Whiting's race director role and delegating it to 4 or 5 different people. But whatever Michael Masi did in his first 3 or 4 races at Australia, Bahrain and China must have impressed the FIA sufficiently enough to give to him the role as a single person on a full-time basis, which has proven to be the wrong decision. But, you know, the FIA, they need to take account for this. But I just want to say a few things, really, because I do think people have sort of missed out a few things, despite obviously being caught up in this whole, you know, Michael Masi and FIA have, you know, turned this sport into more of an entertainment game show than actually a sport. But the fact of the matter is, people do seem to forget that Mercedes actually shot themselves in the foot and could have actually avoided a situation like this, since of course, you know, come the final lap, Max Verstappen was on brand new soft tyres and Lewis Hamilton was running on 30 odd lap old hard tyres, and Lewis was always going to win. But Mercedes put Lewis Hamilton in a situation where he actually could lose. That was not this sport going against him. That was Mercedes' fault. I know this might not be a popular video, but I really felt like I had to say this. So, if you agree, please comment down below, like the video, unlike the video, do what you want. And this has been Crystal Racing, over and out.